So, AEW and New Japan have way too many championships. AEW's integration of ROH has set them up with way too many titles, and New Japan's integration into the United States has done the same. It's tough to see these two companies devalue what it means to be a champion as AEW and New Japan continue to work together. Taking it a step further and unifying some of their championships can go a long way in restoring value to their wrestling product as a whole. Let's talk about what championships should stay and which ones should go. Let me begin by simply saying that once AEW unifies their international and continental championships, they'll be in much better shape. AEW's roster is perfect for an intercontinental championship, which will soon balance the quantity of championships in both AEW and ROH. That's right. I don't think there should be any other unifications in AEW or ROH. The catalyst for improvement will come when we begin to see how these championships are used. The only titles that would be up for change would be the ROH World Tag Team and ROH World Six Man Tag Team Championships. The other titles in ROH could simply use some better direction with more consistent booking. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Featuring ROH championships and storylines on AEW Collision would give these championships the structure that they need. Another tool to feature these titles is the 0 hour of AEW's pay per views. When it comes to the Ring of Honor tag and trios titles, these are the only divisions that I truly see having a struggle. There seems to be a very limited division. If that's the case, then make the Ring of Honor World Tag Team and World Six Man Tag Team Championships available to partner companies. New Japan, CMLL, and even RevPro can benefit greatly from featuring these championships. Have the champions spend time in Japan, or have some New Japan wrestlers spend some time in the US. While these champions are abroad, work at forming teams for them to defend the titles against. When the division needs a refresh, send the champions back to New Japan for a bit. I know what you're thinking. Why should Ring of Honor have champions sent to New Japan when New Japan has way too many championships to begin with? Let's unpack that and see what we can do away with. Personally, I think that getting rid of the open weight championships would be a step in the right direction. We have the never open weight championships and the strong open weight championships. Unfortunately, these championships under these banners have grown to mean nothing. Years ago, New Japan introduced the never openweight championship as well as the never openweight six-man tag team championship. The never openweight title has gone on to be just another title. The six-man belts have become so irrelevant, it's hard to remember who holds them. It makes sense to combine the trios division of Ring of Honor and New Japan. It can grow to become a healthy division that features new faces for both Japanese and American audiences. As for the never openweight title, I think it could do well combining with the strong openweight championship. The strong openweight championship has become irrelevant, as New Japan's expansion to the States has been nothing short of turbulent. Gabe Kidd is the current champion, and even he can't get the title to mean something. When one of the company's hottest stars can't give a title momentum, you know it's time to figure something else out. I recommend combining the two open weight championships into the IWGP Western Heavyweight Championship. This could be the third major title that New Japan has to offer, alongside the IWGP World Heavyweight and IWGP Global Heavyweight Championships. As for the other strong championships, I recommend they get absorbed into other championships accordingly. For the strong openweight tag team championship, I would like to see them absorbed into the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. Ring of Honor and New Japan could share a division of Western based tag team wrestling. Perhaps a partnership is meant for situations like this. Both titles have struggled to flesh out an entire division of their own. So go ahead and combine them into one. As for the Strong Women's Championship, there's simply no need for this title to exist. The IWGP Women's Championship has been lost in the shuffle for years. Why not put everything you have into that singular championship? I truly don't understand why New Japan has two women's championships, but can barely get enough momentum to maintain one. I'm all for the company having a women's championship, but things just have to be done right. Let's recap. AEW is set to unify their international and continental championships. When this happens, both AEW and ROH will have three men's titles, two women's titles, and two tag team titles. New Japan will unify or absorb their open weight titles into the IWGP Women's Championship, both Ring of Honor tag titles, and the newly created IWGP Western Heavyweight Championship. This will leave New Japan with six singles titles and two tag team titles. In theory, doing away with these open weight championships should set AEW and New Japan up to work together more often. Certain championships from Ring of Honor will have the option to go international, and New Japan will give themselves some much needed structure when it comes to their championships and divisions. Ultimately, these are small changes for both New Japan and AEW. Yet these small changes would go on to make a huge difference in the retention of viewership interest alongside viable pipelines for growing stars. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should AEW and New Japan unify slash absorb some of these titles in order to create a more consistent partnership? I definitely think if this was to happen, not only would Ring of Honor get more attention, but New Japan would have a better following. New Japan would be more consistent. It would be easier to tell who is going to be the next champion, not only for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, but also for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. When you have too many titles, you have too many titles. Unify some of them, work together, make it work for both brands, both promotions, both companies. That's all I have today, guys. Stay awesome. Stay watching wrestling. Have a great day. Have a great night at whatever time you're watching this. Be good, be happy.